Hey, my name is Ray. I'm here in the UK. Kind of missing some winter sun in Miami with a great group of guys and gals that I've met along my journey of getting in not only into the online space but also into personal development, the journey of discovering more of self. Self not as in ego, but self as in my power. It's a journey, it's a process, and the destination is I guess basically joy, happiness, success, all the things that we all have our own definitions of. And along my journey, I've met some amazing people. I've met some people that I look up to. I've met some amazing people that have become mentors, who become friends, who become examples that I seek to kind of model, to learn from, who mentor me or bust my ass or coach me through things that I can, or train me or teach me, but as well as walk alongside me. And that to me is what I find really, really, really valuable about an empowered and global community. Even though I live locally in a particular area, the interesting notion of the internet is that you can go global. And I'm a global kind of being. I grew up nomadic. My dad was a roaming professor. I lived overseas. Pretty much all my upbringing until, I ended up in the States and I went to uni and I was supposed to do 4 years. I ended up studying for 10 plus. I had a great time. I kind of was coming back home to my country, my culture, and I had my challenges. I mean, my challenges were as I was bringing in stuff that was basically, I went through a culture shock. I also went on my own stuff. I left home when I was quite young. I was a single parent family. My mom died. I have great vision of being involved in, helping people, around the world, particularly international development. And I went to university with the idea of doing that. I had a whole bunch of living and misspent youth and things that were unfortunately disempowering. So in my journey, it's, to come to that realization, to not always be blaming or passing the buck but to owning that. And it's part of the challenge because often, unfortunately, society is that kind of thing of, it wasn't me. So in that journey, I've met a lot of people. I've met a lot of people who are quacks. I've met a lot of people who basically aren't really walking their talk, who preach the dream and are living the nightmare and effectively pushing the nightmare. And even on the other side of things, that just basically are doing things that are particularly toxic and not very, are part of the problem, not part of the solution. And, I'd fall into the wrong crowd or whatever. But as I got a little bit older, a little bit more mature, a little bit wiser, I started to clear up my thinking and clear up my vision and clear up my perspective. And it's then that, the other, good people would show up in my life. And so many people come to mind, and I would hate to leave them out. But in this instance, because more recently, walking on the path to more freedom, I've come across and met a real cool cat. In fact, I met so many cool cats, it's tough to kind of only make this up. But Nat Green. Nat Green, buddy, here's a shout out to you, man. Peace, love. I'm so glad that I got connected with you because, you're chill. I know you, from the things we talked about. You have challenges, but you have stepped up to take them on. And you are now reaping the rewards, and as not only as a newfound friend, but also as now a mentor, as well as a coach, but as kind of a world changer who's shared vision of a positive, empowered world of people living their purpose. And you recently set up, in connection with Stephen Hales over here in the UK, Project Freedom. Project Freedom, is this idea that basically it's not an idea, but it's kind of a system, a strategy, a perspective of how to kind of go forward and step into your power, of people who have been struggling in business, who've been struggling online, who've been really trying, who've been doing all the things but not being able to get the traction and the results that they want, as well as the success that they know that they deserve, but haven't been able to join the dots to the point of actually being able to live it. And Project Freedom, however, looks at the notion saying, wait a minute, if you're doing all the things that are going on that supposedly the system and the training tells you, then there must be something else happening if it's not happening. And that is effectively there must be a block. So it falls back and says, well, maybe not maybe, but we need to do some personal development. We need to look inside and go, there's some running programs, there's some old habits, there's some disempowering activity that are shooting ourselves in the foot. And that's where Nat and Stephen came in, but particularly Project Freedom, which, tap into not only a viable and successful and sound online opportunity where one can also make some money as an affiliate, but it really sits on the premise of quantum mind mastery training. And thanks to Darren Little, who, the MLM superhero, who basically, shared that fantastic mind mastery training with the rest of us. But it was really, Nat and Stephen, but Nat in particular, shout out to him because he and I basically connected on that front of the personal development and what it actually is, and taking on the notion of what quantum physics related to one's way of thinking can either shoot you in the foot, basically metaphorically keep the blocks going up, or if you overcome those blocks, can really set you free. Hence the name Project Freedom, and I like to actually call it Project Freedom. Because that's what it's about. Because when you're projecting freedom, it's because you're broadcasting your truth. It's because you're broadcasting your power. It's because you're walking your walk. You're walking not just your talk. You are actually living, you're breathing, you're being, and you're thinking along the lines that actually are aligned and akin to you. And on that note, I have to say a shout out to Nat Green. So thank you for not only, sharing and bringing me in, but because I've benefited in so many other areas of life, not just in business, but in relationships, not just with other people, but with myself. And that's key. It's like almost becoming, your one's own best friend, which is really cool. But, shout out to you, Nat. I know you're down in MIA, you're missing in action in Miami, but not really, because you're having a damn good time connecting with some amazing people from all over the world. But also when you're back in Canada, out there snowboarding, I love your videos, man. I mean, I'm really envious. We don't have enough snow here, and for me to get there, it's a long way away, and so on. But just that, you're just really somebody who even there are challenges and you can get stressed out. We all do. That's life, peaks and valleys. It happens. But it's how you handle it that, you're a testament to what you're doing. You're a really good example, a really good model for the rest of us. And I speak for myself when I say that I just want to say thank you. Anybody who really wants to delve into the space of personal development and to really kind of tap in, who connect with somebody who knows where you're coming from, who knows the online space in particular very, very well, who also knows the challenges that one can face on it. There's a lot of hoo-ha that it's just, you drop in and boom, money will fall out of the sky. Well, it does, but it takes a particular way of thinking to get there, to know it, to get it, to experience it. And that's what this is about. So thank you, Nat. It's a shout out to you. I hope that, I hope that represents you as best I can. But hopefully we'll catch up soon and we'll share a jar or two and who knows, maybe get into a snowball fight. What the heck? But I do got to say, I'm very grateful for the time and the energy that you spent on my behalf. And anybody else who really, really wants to connect with like-minded people, but also not just leaders, but people who don't have their heads so filled up with themselves. They walk alongside of you, possibly a little bit in front because of maybe kind of having processed it, but they don't view the world as that I'm so above you. They see you, your friend, your family, you're good people. That's how they view the world, and those are the kind of people that I love to connect with. So once again, Nat, shout out to you, brother. Hang loose, stay strong, stay well. Keep it going, keep it on, and we'll connect with you soon. And everybody, I hope, you got questions, ask me, but definitely, tap into what Nat's got going on because, it's about time that we all project our freedom. Peace, love, out.